I think it must have been 2006 or so, about 20 years ago. I was looking for a lap dulcimer, which is what this instrument is. Okay? This is a lap dulcimer. I was looking for one, so I asked my buddy, Antoine, over at the Compound Studio in Long Beach, California, where I'm from. I called him up and I said, hey man, do you have one of these? You know where I can find one? And he said, I just so happen to have one laying around in the studio. How strange. Nobody plays a lap dulcimer. I said, well, I would like to. I want to write some songs. You know, I grew up on like, Joni Mitchell, right? Yeah. That blue record. Yeah. And so I wanted to do some of that. So I get this from him, and I write a bunch of songs. I write this next song that I'm about to play for you, okay? So fast forward 15 years or so, okay? I have to leave Nashville, and I need to move my family out to California, and I'm looking for somewhere for us to live, and I find this home that is exactly where I want to live. It's exactly where I want to raise my family, where I want to be. The place had just come on the market for 1 hour, and I called my agent, and I said, this house will go. So she goes, and she checks it out. Turns out, it had just gotten on the market, so I was the first one to put a bid on this home. I send them a full page. There are 3 trustees of this family, son, daughter, and son. Their mother had just passed away 3 months earlier, and they were selling the family home. So I put a bid in. Within a week, I find out that I had been outbid by like $300,000. There's no way, no hope for me. Okay. But I had sent them one full page of pictures of my family. I had sent them one full page of me explaining the importance of art, me explaining in great detail what art means to me throughout my life. And then one full page of links to lectures and to performances and links to interviews, me discussing the importance of art in life. So, the house, I was outbid. I was heartbroken because I felt a special connection to this place. No matter. So I keep looking for a house. 1.5, 2 weeks later, I get a call from my agent, and she says, Jay, the family of that one house, they would like to know, are you sure you can't go any higher? And I was like, there is no way. It is already more than I can afford. So I said, it's very nice to think that they would take less money so that I could be in that house. And while they're checking that with me, the cash buyer puts it up another $100,000 out of reach, $400,000 out of reach. That's how much they wanted this house. They wanted it like I wanted it, and I didn't have that kind of money. So I go back, wait two more weeks. I'm heartbroken. I can't stop thinking about this place. There was something there. There was some electricity when I looked at it. I get another call from my agent. My agent says, you're never going to believe this, but that family, those 3 trustees, they're breaking their deal with that cash buyer for all of that money, and they want to sell the house to you. What the fuck? I said, you are kidding me. She says, well, how? They want to know how high you can go. And I said, original asking price, that is it. I cannot go any higher. So I do all of the work. I moved my family across country during COVID. The baby had just been born. We've got dogs and a camper and cats, and it was a mess. But we make our way out west. So we get there, and the family, I moved one of the mattresses in, and my daughter, my son, the baby, and my wife, they all sleep on a mattress out in the living room while I'm moving things in, moving boxes all through the night. The next morning, I look at the house, the sun comes up. I call my agent and I say, can I have the phone number for the family that sold us this house? Can for the head trustee? And she says, yes. I get on the phone with this guy and I say, this is Jay Buchanan. Oh, it's so nice to finally talk to you. And I said, I just want to say thank you what you and your brother and your sister have done for me and my family. This is unbelievable. I can't believe this. It makes no sense. And he says, it is unbelievable. And it doesn't make any sense. He says, let me tell you something. He said, I saw you were playing a lap dulcimer on one of those videos. He says, yes. He said, you were playing the Traverse City Opera House in Michigan. I says, yes. He said, you were talking about art and everything, and you were singing that high, lonesome sort of a tone. I said, yes. And he says, well, that's very interesting. Yes. And he said, do you know, I wish I had my phone on me, but do you know, he asks me through the phone, he says, do you know who John Jacob Niles is? And I said, absolutely. He's a huge influence on me. John Jacob Niles in the 1950s, in the early 60s, remember when folk music was taking over, you had Pete Seeger, and everybody, even before Bob Dylan, then a young Bob Dylan comes on, and everybody wants to play banjos and shit, you know? And John Jacob Niles, he was the guy who went deep into Appalachia, into the mining camps, into these coal mines in Kentucky and everywhere else. And he would have the grandmothers, the grandfathers, they would sing these old folk songs that they carried with them for generations. And he would go there and he would transpose these and he would notate them and write them out so that the songs of these generations wouldn't be lost like everything else, wouldn't be stepped on and diluted like so many street drugs. What he did is monumental. So I says, yes, I know exactly who John Jacob Niles is. And he says, well, our mother that just passed away, that was her uncle. And he says, that was her favorite uncle. And she was his favorite. And he meant the world to her. And so when we saw you on those videos playing that dulcimer, because John Jacob Niles played a lap dulcimer just like this, but he would hand make them himself because people used to make their own dulcimers all the time. And so he said, we knew that once we saw you playing the dulcimer and singing that way, we knew that we had to put you in the house and that the money didn't matter. That's a real story. And it was this song that did it. I said my shoes at your to get out of your own way. Allow yourself the comfort of others and relish in this secret sweetness that is unique to every day. You've learned to balance on your beam. You turn the flips to please your crowd. And when you hit the floor, showing your practiced form, you look for that perfect score that will tell you can be proud. You build a dam to hold a stream. You break your back to pan this gold. 24 karat mile. So what did you think you'd find? Don't trade it for shining things that will clip the wounds in your soul. There is beauty everywhere, but you got to get out of your own way. Allow yourself the comfort of others and relish in this secret sweetness, that secret sweetness that is unique to them. Now there is beauty everywhere. You get out of your own way. Yeah, allow yourself the comfort of others, and you relish in the secret sweetness. That secret sweetness, there is beauty everywhere. You get out of your own way. Allow yourself the comfort of others and relish in this secret sweetness, that secret sweetness that is unique to